It was a morning like any other in the bustling city, drenched in a haze of urgency and routine, as Jake Morgan stepped off the subway with a resume folder tucked tightly under his arm, his shoes polished to a gleam, and his heart hammering like a drumline. Today wasn't just another date, was the day, the one he'd been working toward for months. After countless nights working double shifts at the diner and poring over textbooks on business strategy, Jake had finally landed an interview at Carrington Enterprises, one of the most prestigious corporations in the city. He was dressed sharply in a gray suit he'd borrowed from his cousin, hair neatly combed, and confidence wavering but present. The streets were already bustling, car horns crying out like anxious birds, pedestrians weaving past one another like dancers in a silent symphony. Jake glanced at his phone. He was running on time. Just as he turned the corner onto 42nd Street, his path was blocked by the sharp screech of a car braking hard. A woman in her mid-30s had collapsed in the middle of the crosswalk. Her grocery bags spilled all around her like fallen dominoes, oranges rolling toward the storm drain. Without a second thought, Jake rushed to her, his interview slipping into the background of his mind. "Ma'am, are you okay? I'm seeing," he asked breathlessly, helping her sit up. She was clearly disoriented, her lip cut and her ankle twisted. Most people walked past, indifferent, but Jake couldn't do that. He flagged down a cab and helped her in, ignoring his buzzing phone. "You're bleeding. You need to get to the hospital." "No, I just need ice." "I'll be fine," she said with a weak laugh, brushing her black hair out of her eyes.
You've
Already done too much. But Jake insisted on riding with her, making sure she got inside her apartment, helping her clean up, icing her ankle, even picking up the groceries she'd dropped earlier. Hours passed without him realizing it, until he finally glanced at his watch hand. Panic surged in his chest. He was 2 hours late. The interview was long over. He apologized profusely to the woman, but she only smiled, watching him with a curious glint in her eyes. "I didn't catch your name," she said as he stood to leave. Jake Morgan," he replied, forcing a smile. "Well, Jake Morgan, not many people would do what you just did. Thank you." With a heavy heart and a mind racing with self-doubt, Jake left her apartment, walked through the now quiet streets, and sat at a bus stop, staring into the distance. His dream opportunity had just slipped through his fingers, but somehow, something told him he'd made the right choice. He didn't know that the woman he'd just helped was none other than Evelyn Carrington, CEO of Carrington Enterprise, Azand. She now had his name etched into her memory. The next day, while Jake sulked back into his daily routine at the diner, flipping burgers and wiping down counters, Evelyn sat in her towering office, his resume open on her desk. The security footage had caught everything. She had watched it 3 times already. The way he knelt beside her, the way he didn't hesitate, the way he stayed until she was safe. Evelyn wasn't just impressed, she was moved. Meeting with Jake Morgan, she told her assistant, hiding a smile. He doesn't know it yet, but his real interview is just beginning. Viewers, if this story touched your heart even a little, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel for Chapter 2 because what's coming next will surprise you even more than Jake himself. The diner buzzed with the usual chaos of clinking dishes, shouts from the kitchen, and the low hum of casual conversations. Jake stood behind the counter, wiping a coffee mug for the 3rd time in a row, lost in thought. He'd replayed yesterday 100 times how he had thrown away the biggest chance of his life to help a stranger. A part of him wondered if he was an idiot, if the world rewarded selfishness more than kindness. But another part, the deeper part, the part his mother had raised him to listen to, told him he did what mattered. Still, it stung. He hadn't gotten a call back. No reschedule. Nothing. The door chimed, and Jake looked up absent-mindedly to greet the next customer. But this one wasn't like the usuals. She wore a sleek black suit, red heels, and had a commanding presence that made heads turn even, in a place that smelled of grease and fried bacon. It was her, Evelyn Carrington. But her demeanor was different now, polished, poised, but with warmth behind her eyes. "Jake Morgan," she said, a knowing smile tugging at her lips. Jake froze, rag still in hand. Yes. Do I know? You, Evelyn gave a soft laugh. Well, you helped me off the street yesterday. I thought maybe I could return the favor. She extended her hand, and Jake slowly shook it, confused. Wait, you said your name was Eve? Short for Evelyn Carrington, she said casually, sliding into a booth. The moment the name clicked in Jake's mind, the coffee mug slipped from his hands and shattered on the floor. A hush fell across the diner as he scrambled to pick it up, red-faced. You're the Evelyn Carrington? Guilty? She looked amused. I happen to be looking for someone to fill a rather unique position. Jake sat across from her, dumbfounded. But I missed the interview. You passed a more important one, she said, folding her hands. Character matters to me more than credentials. You showed heart, compassion, and initiative. That's rare. I've watched dozens of applicants try to impress me on paper. You impressed me in real life. Jake could hardly believe his ears. I'm just a guy who serves fries and watches TED Talks on my breaks. You want to offer me a job? Evelyn leaned forward. Not just any job. I want you to be my personal executive apprentice. You'll work directly under me, shadowing decisions, projects, negotiations. I want someone I can trust in. Yesterday, you showed me exactly who you are. Jake blinked rapidly, his mouth dry. I don't even know what to say. Yes, she replied, grinning. And that was the beginning. Within a week, Jake was in an entirely different world. Gone were the diner trays and grease stains. He now walked through glass hallways of Carrington Tower with a badge around his neck and a laptop under his arm. But the transition wasn't easy. Jake had no corporate background. The lingo, the fast pace, the political games, it was a whirlwind. His first presentation bombed. His first team meeting was a mess. People whispered behind his back. Is the new guy working directly with the CEO? He's not even Ivy League. He probably knows someone. But Evelyn didn't flinch. She continued to mentor him, push him, believe in him. Let them talk, she told him one night. As they worked late reviewing projections, the ones who matter will see your work, and those who don't aren't worth your energy. Slowly, Jake grew. He read everything he could. He stayed up till 3 a.m. rehearsing data breakdowns. He watched boardroom arguments and learned how to hold his ground. And after 3 months, something changed. He wasn't just Evelyn's charity. Casey was earning respect. One day, Evelyn called Jake into her office. She sat behind her massive desk, tapping a file. There's an expansion project we've been eyeing in Seattle. I want you to lead the pitch next week. Jake's heart nearly stopped. Me? Yes, you. You've got the heart. Show them your brain. Nervous but determined, Jake flew out, stood before a panel of skeptical investors, and delivered a presentation that was passionate, detailed, and bold. When he finished, there was a long silence, then applause. The project was greenlit. The company gained new ground. Jake returned to New York a rising star. But more than the prestige, what made Jake proud was when Evelyn stood before the whole company during the quarterly meeting and told his story. Jake Morgan missed an interview. She told the room full of top brass and interns alike. To help a stranger, that stranger was me. I realized then, I don't need someone who's perfect on paper. I need someone who's exceptional in the world. The crowd erupted in cheers. Jake, sitting in the front row, had tears in his eyes. From a diner to a skyscraper, he had made it not because he chased success, but because he followed his heart. Now, if you're watching this and wondering if small moments matter, they do. One act of kindness changed Jake's entire life. So never hesitate to do the right thing, even when no one's watching. And hey, if this story inspired you, hit that like button. Drop a comment below about a moment you followed your heart. And subscribe to our channel for more real, emotional, and powerful stories just like this one. You never know which one might change your life next.